Alright, this video is going to go over how to solve elasticity problems in economics. The example you're looking at in front of you right now is for the price elasticity of demand. You'll see we have percent change in quantity over percent change in price. And if you get confused over which goes on top, you can remember this little trick, quarter pounder. I know it's kind of lame, but if you think about McDonald's and the quarter pounders, you'll always get these straight. So this example looks at the price elasticity of demand. We have this percent change in Q, which is just our ending quantity, minus our beginning quantity over average quantity, our end price minus our beginning price over average price. If we want to look at the income elasticity of demand, we're just going to have our percent change in Q as it's affected by income. So percent change in Q over percent change in income, and that's our income elasticity of demand. Our cross price elasticity of demand is just going to be our percent change in Q again over our percent change in P, but the difference here is that this quantity is for good J and the change in price is for good I. So they're different goods, maybe hamburgers, quantity of hamburgers and price of hot dogs, that sort of thing. Alright, so for the first example, we have price changing from $5 to $10, increasing $5, and quantity changing from 30 to 20, so a decrease in 10 units. What is the price elasticity of demand? Well, we know from before that it's the percent change in quantity over the percent change in price. Quarter pounders, remember? But now we have to find the percent change in quantity and the percent change in price. So first let's do the percent change in quantity. Percent change in quantity, we take our ending quantity, or 20, minus our beginning quantity of 30. Then we have to find what our average quantity is. So 20 plus 30 divided by 2. This gives us negative 10 over 20 plus 30 is 50 divided by 2, or 25. And this can also be written as, if we divide it by 2.5, as 4/10, or we divide each of those by 2, you can get 2/5. Now we need to find the percent change in price. So we're going to use the similar method. We'll start off with our ending dollar amount of 10, subtract our initial dollar amount of 5, divide by the average, 10 plus 5 divided by 2. So here we get $5 is the difference, 10 minus 5. 10 plus 5 is 15 divided by 2 gives us 7.5. And those are all dollars. These are all dollars. And that gives us 2/3. So our percent change in price is 2/3. Our percent change in quantity, forgot those there, is negative 2/5. So when we add those to where they go in our price elasticity of demand formula, our numerator is going to be negative 2/5. Our denominator is going to be 2/3. Using that invert and multiply rule, we can take this denominator and flip it and multiply it by the numerator. So we get negative 2/5 times 3/2. And so that's going to give us negative 6 over 10, or negative 3/5 if we divide both these by 2. And that's just going to be negative 0.6. Second example, what happens if they give you the price elasticity of demand and they want you to find the percent change in something? So here we have the price elasticity of demand is equal to negative 0.5, and the price changes from $20 to $10. So here the price goes down. First, let's find the percent change in P. So that's going to be equal to 10 minus 20 over the average here is 15, So we get 10 over 15. And then we set that up in our equation and solve for Q. So we have Q in the numerator, percent change in Q, our percent change in P in the denominator, 10 over 15. And so that's going to be equal to negative 1.5, our price elasticity of demand. So now what we need to do is solve for this percent change in Q. So what we can do here is flip this guy over, or we can just multiply both sides by 10 over 15. So we get percent change in Q equals negative 1.5 times our 10 over 15. What is 10 over 15 times 1.5? This is the same as 2/3, so 2/3 times 1.5 is going to give us negative 1. So our percent change in quantity is going to be equal to negative 1. So if we have a price elasticity of demand of negative 1.5, a price change from 20 to 10, what's our percent change in Q? Our percent change in Q is going to be negative 1.